guys. I put together examples of all the trash versus the treasure that you would find in the ground. Now, let's start left to right, like you would on your machine. Iron here. I discriminate out iron because I'm really not a relic hunter, and I think it's pretty safe to discriminate out iron. But if you're a relic hunter, you would use that to find iron, to find homesteads or relics in the ground, like horseshoes and Civil War stuff. So I don't really worry about iron. I just discriminate that out. But foil is a pretty big deal here. You could see this. There's plenty of foil all around here, okay? And then we get our bottle top, all right? The bottle cap here. That's all bent over. And we have this older type pull tab, all right? Now, you could discriminate out foil. Okay, the foil section is about 17 to 20, whatever the case may be, on each machine. Okay, now if you discriminate that out, what are you going to give up here? What are you going to miss? You're going to go right past these things. That is a gold, 14 karat gold little pendant. Okay, that's, I believe that's from the 1800s. Okay. This is spent, however, it's a gold coin, and it is an Austrian ducat, okay? This rang up like foil. One reason is because it's so thin. You can take a look at that, look at it, there's nothing left of it. But I was able to identify this, all right? So that's a keeper for me. And this thin ring, okay, this thin gold ring, there you go. It came up as foil. You wouldn't believe it would, but there it is, right there. All right. So let's move on to like nickel stuff, okay? Again, bottle caps. I get bottle caps in every direction on my VDI. It doesn't matter. They could be in the teens. It could be into the 90s. And I still get bottle caps. But here's, your modern tabs, pieces of fence wire, little pieces of, aluminum here, old subway tokens, okay? So you could discriminate all this out if you wanted to, okay? However, this is like your nickel range, so you're going to miss out on your nickels, okay? Which is not a giant deal, but find enough nickels, it adds up. Okay, fatty Indians, 1859 to early, 1900s. The fatty Indian head pennies there, right? Thin Indian pennies here. You got, late 1800s to 1900s. Buffalo nickels. All this stuff, if you discriminated out this area in the nickel range, you would miss out all this stuff. That's insanity. I would never do that. I couldn't do it, okay? So now, let's go to the pennies. Now, this is a good one. Again, I get bottle tops. These will all read different. You never know what's going to come up. If it's all rusted, it could ring up higher. If it's bent in half, if it's on edge, you never know what this thing is going to read. It's unbelievable how many bottle caps I get. Washers, little steel washers, nothing big. I think the hole in it makes it more act like a penny signal. Still, I'm getting pull tabs out of this. Little tiny light pieces of nothing. I don't even know what that is. And it rings up as a penny. So you would get your normal pennies, but now you also got your Wheaties. You got your wheat pennies here you're missing, all right? And here's the kicker right here. Look at this bad boy. That is a honking gold ring. Look at that. Rings up just like a penny. Unbelievable. So I would dig 1,000 of these for one of those. It's unreal. It's so deceiving, your signals. Really is. It's unbelievable. Now here, this is your like your dime area, you know, your dime VDI numbers. Again, you get your pull tabs, old and new. I got a junk earring, you know. This is like an old token, you know, like a 1960s token or whatever it is, but it's, you know, kind of the size of this. So it rings up like a dime. You get your regular dimes, okay? So you could discriminate out all this junk if you wanted to, but you're missing out on the dimes, this silver, little silver pendants here. Look at that. Get a little silver pendant, another little silver pendant, a little charm, mercury dimes, old rings. I mean, this is probably a junker ring, but it's still a ring nonetheless. Okay? So you could discriminate that out, but look what you're missing if you do. Okay? Now, let's go to the quarters. Now this, a set of keys, nails, especially if they're wet. If you have wet nails, these things ring up like silver quarters. It's unbelievable. You know, now I got, here you go, another bottle cap, but it's a flattened out bottle cap, almost the size of a quarter. So look at that, rings up like a quarter, okay? So you could, and of course this, Old Faithful, this one, everyone gets these. But again, you could discriminate this out. I don't know why you would discriminate out, you know, a quarter signals, because that's, you know, I would never do that unless you're specifically looking for maybe gold, you know, looking for gold. So you might discriminate out the quarters to try to find more gold, you know what I'm saying? Or in a jewelry mode, if you will. There's so many things. If you're looking for old coins, Indian heads, and things of that sort, you could discriminate. You could discriminate out up and down if you wanted to, you know. And let's say you don't have enough time. Maybe you only have an hour to hunt, so you start discriminating stuff out and try to pinpoint on your targets, you know, in the time that you have. I mean, everyone's time is different. All right. So again, back to the quarters. Now, again, I said keys, nails, you know, you got a little token here, rings up like a quarter. It's worthless. Once I found an old coin like this, and I was like, oh my God, look at the old coin, oh my God. And I turn it over and I see Chuck E. Cheese's face on it. So that kind of was a little bit insulting to me, but anyway. Again, you got your regular quarters. You got silver. Here's your silver quarters. All right, this is a 1945 quarter. And then you get this. Look at that silver ring. Big old honking silver ring. Look at that. You know, like I said, I'll dig 150,000 of these, all this stuff, for any of these gold rings and silver rings. It's just the way it is. That's the name of the game. That's what you got to do. Okay. Now, here is the $50 signals. You know, you get your high 90s and things of that sort. Now, aluminum cans, old tokens that you get. It's really not that old. It's just a big piece of metal, really. This is just a junk piece of jewelry, you know, children's jewelry. And again, another piece of junk children's jewelry. But if you discriminate this out, what are you going to walk past? You're going to walk past this. 1944. Walking Liberty. $50. Look at that. So this is what I'm saying. I only discriminate when I don't have time to really do a good hunt, but the experts are right. I'm telling you, you got to dig everything, and you got to remember the old saying, more trash, more treasure. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So every time you dig a piece of trash, that's all you say in your head. More trash, more treasure. More trash, more treasure. And believe me, these cool items that you get here, all of this cool stuff is going to wind up coming up eventually. The more of this you dig, the more of this you're going to get. And that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's the name of the game, baby. All right, guys. Well, I showed you my finds right down there. And it's the way it is. Don't discriminate. If you could help it at all. You can't outsmart the trash. I'm telling you. Anyway, this is a wrap. BCD, out.